Gravesend Australia Diecast Salvage. My name's Michael. Welcome along to this episode. We're going to try and do something with this Dinky Toys Ford Corsair. I'd like to welcome along new viewers and viewers that have joined recently, and or for those viewers that have stuck since our first episode almost 3 years ago. So anyway, let's come along this journey to see what I can achieve with this Ford Corsair. Welcome everybody over to the workbench. So Dinky Toys, Ford Corsair, made by Meccano. Made in England, Meccano Limited. I think there's one set of original tyres on there and two newer ones, replacement ones. But overall, the vehicle's in not bad a condition. It's missing a headlight, but we have replacements for those. It has been restored before. Does the boot open? No, the boot doesn't open. The glass is in good condition. Needs a bit of clean-up. I'm sure we can do something with that. Now this is a replacement bonnet which came with the vehicle, and it's one of those ones, it's a white metal part, but as you can see it needs work. As much as it's not as bad as others that I've seen, but the quality of some of these replacement parts is something to be desired. And in saying that, it's very much appreciative that they are out there. It's better than absolutely nothing. Anyway, we'll stick that aside. And as mentioned, this has been opened before. It does have two posts. One here and one here. But like I said, been opened before, and whoever opened it did a very good job in that I've been able to get it apart without destroying the posts. So they'll be just a matter of gluing back on. Anyway, here are the base plate. The arm is here. So we may use these boots again, because the car's only going to be on display. So it's not as if it's going to be playing with in the dirt again. So we may use these tyres, but we may make another set. So as you can see, see, we have loose tongue. He came in early. So you can see the difference in thicknesses in the tyres. So we'll see what we can do about that. So we'll put them aside to be cleaned at any rate. We'll stick this base into some calcium, lime and rust, and that will get rid of the rust on the base plate. I'm not going to remove it. The hubs will be fine in there. What I'll probably do is like I did on the Gamma Mercedes, is with the scourer, bring out the highlights of the details down the bottom, like the drive shafts, the gearbox, the differential, the exhaust. So that's something we can do. Our interior is a vacuum formed. Does have the steering wheel, so that needs a wash. So I'll see if I can find the poor man's wash machine. The glass or the plastic glazing. Those marks may come out. And interesting, they have that as the window being most of the way down. Just needs basically a clean up. These marks you're not going to see in the corner. We'll see that we can clean that up. Okay. So, and that leaves us with the casting itself. Let's see. There's no holes in the back that I can see down here to get that headlight out. So I'll dig that out off camera. So we're going to a venue. So if you want to come along to the venue, by all means, stick around. Otherwise, you might want to skip a couple of minutes. All right, let's head off to the venue, set it up, and we'll have a look at some strippers. All right, so we're making some new tyres here, and we're using a fast premium car body sealant. It's the same stuff that you use to glue in your windows these days. And we refilled it. We're just going to close it up. And we'll set that aside for it to set. And we'll come back for our stripping. Alright, the conversation you guys are hearing in the background, we're in the tavern. Aren't you lucky? And in the tavern, we sometimes have strippers. So here we go.
Tips I've ever had. It works fucking great. I had that discussion with someone else, and in the main it is correct until you use the very tail end of yellow. Then you better edge it. Then you better edge it towards white or green. I always try and get, in a particular instance, I'm trying to get a gold yellow or something.
So, like I said, we're in the tavern, we're having a little discussion as to different tips and so forth. The girls are swimming around, so I'll listen to the guys, let the girls do their work, and we'll bring you back when we're doing the cleanup. Alright, we're going to use the brass bristle brush. Like I said, we're in the tavern.
Hey, don't be letting PJ around your gas, Neil.
I'll have that running in the background while I clean up the rest of this paint. We'll use this, and we'll use this, and we'll come back when she's nice and shiny. Well, we've been talking for a few hours, so it's time for me to paint. And these guys will keep chatting.
We're live on Gravesend Australia Diecast Salvage.
Yeah, exactly. No, you're not. No, you're not. No.
It's called a pancake house, and there's three or four legs. Pancake. I think he's got cast his line. Drop this ball. Have we got equipment tip? Yeah. Don't use them. Don't need them. What are you using? What are you fishing with? Course fishing. What rod are you using? What rod? Course rod. God, I know it's fucking course rod. Yeah. Are you float fishing? Are you got a cork rod? There you go. Come on. I'll do it float. Oh, floating. I don't like floating. I generally float about 2 foot. Do you? Yeah. I float for about 2 foot. After 3 foot, I fucking drown if I'm not careful. No, I generally float about 2 foot because that's where I fish. They're generally about 2 foot. So the thing about Longford, you've got just cast it over 8 foot, like using a pole. No, I'm on about yeah. No, I'm saying you've got various lakes with various depths. Yeah. So something to suit everybody. Well, I guarantee you will not fucking fail. Well, it's a matter about maybe relates to me floats up and drop it deeper or whatever, or go the opposite way, so... That's it, you pick a date when you're available, tell the boy remember also that, unless it's... I don't think they are now anymore, I think it's illegal. It's barbless hooks. Yes. I don't use anything else. The thing is, my fucking tackle box is full of fucking barb ducks. Here's what you do, Lee. Take them out and replace them with some marble hooks. Well, do you know what I did last time I went out? I bought a packet of barbless and put one on the top of my barbed, and I used a barbed on my line. And I still never caught out. Here's what you do, right? You get your hooks out, stick one in your finger, and if it doesn't come out very easily, it's a barbed one. Sorted. Right. Don't like them rocks. It's fucking hurt. They want to.
Yeah, just so you know, how do you get a barb duck out of your finger if you ever get one in?
Okay, we'll leave the guys with their fishing, and I'll carry on. Well, brain fade turned up. Brain fade turned up. We've had fumble fingers, we've had loose lips, but now we've had brain fade. That's a new one, because what happened has been is while we're at the tavern, of course we had a few drinks, we painted the vehicle as you saw, and then I like to bake the paint on, stuck it in the oven. But guess what? Brain fade. Forgot we had a white metal bonnet. And what did it do? I didn't show you what happened was, it had sunk, because of the weight of the hinge, it had sunk and made a big bow into it. You may just see the ends it curled, but as you can see we've straightened it out a fair bit, but it's not perfect anymore. Not that it was perfect in the first place. These white metal pieces from the reproduction suppliers, some of them are better than others, but we've done a bit of a rescue, which I'm sort of happy with. The because of the heat, when we pulled it out of the oven, it brain fade's fault, broke the hinge. So we've made a new hinge for it. So now when it sits in the car, I'll put the glazing in, because the glazing holds the bonnet in place. So it's not going to sit properly anymore. It's sitting better than what it used to, even before we had the accident. But in any case, we're going to play around with this a little bit more. As you can see, we can get it to open, and because there is a nice little engine in there, I don't want to glue the bonnet shut, but if I have to, I have to. But I may put a little bit more heat into it, and into the bonnet, that is, to see if we can't tweak it a little bit more on this end, so that we can get it to sit flat. Anyway, just want to give you an update on that, but while I digress a little bit, and we'll put that aside. We've made new tyres, and it is a roller, of course. So we have new boots, so we can put that aside. We will repaint this back to original colour, and the reason why we stripped it is that when I saw what happened with the bonnet, we had a flying Corsair, and of course when it flew and when she landed, the paint was chipped. So now that I've calmed down and I'm a little bit more sober, maybe, brain fade may have gone away. Anyway, what we're doing next is we're going to put that there. We have cleaned up the window, and we have cleaned up the, sorry about that, sorry for knocking you guys and gals. We have cleaned up the interior in the poor man's wash machine. So what we're going to do now is, just to give that screen a little bit more of a shine part, is we're going to put it into some floor polish and see if we can't give it a luster. Now I have penned in the windscreen wipers. I'll see if we can, there we go, the wipers. So let's give our screen a bit of a dunk, and as we lose it, of course, why not? So we'll just grab the top end, because you're not going to see that. Just let it drip off a little bit. We'll put it onto our absorbent piece, and we'll stick a cover onto it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I shall bring you back after I've done a little bit more repair on this bonnet and painted it. So actually, it should be the reveal, won't it? Anyway, that's what happens in this game. No one's perfect. Sometimes we have setbacks. I'm having more setbacks lately than, it happens. It happens. We can only improve from here. Anyway, we'll catch you at the reveal. See you there. This is a reminder as to what I started with on a Dinky Toys Ford Corsair. And this is where we are now. Didn't this little Dinky Toys Ford Corsair throw up a challenge because of brain fade, or brain fart if you like. Anyway, we have a new member, brain fart. We've got fumble fingers, we have a loose tongue, and we've got brain farts. How many more characters can we bring in? But in any case, here we are with our Dinky Toys Ford Corsair. We've stripped it, we've repainted it of course. We've made new tyres for it. We've repaired the repo bonnet as best we could. It does have a slight twist in it. Nothing much I can do about that. We didn't chrome anything on it. All we've done is strip the paint. The Corsair sign has, it's just the paint being scraped off. The same thing on the boot, it's scraped off. The bumpers are just the paint scraped off. The same thing with the trim lines around the windows, front and rear. It's all been using the X-Acto knife and just carefully stripping the paint off, so we're back to the base. We put in rhinestone headlights. The same thing with the tail light. They're rhinestones. We've painted in the orange indicators. Yeah, I'm still pleased, or happy, as Marty would say, from Marty's Matlock Makeover. I'm happy with that. Maybe at a later time, I'll get if another vehicle comes along that has a bonnet, I'll probably make another one and replace this one in some time in the future. But in the meantime, like I said, I'm happy with that. I hope you're happy with that. And we'll catch you on the next episode of Gravesend Australia Diecast Salvage.